Hello viewers, welcome to CEC lecture. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagmani. So in this series of your introduction to programming using C++, in the previous lectures we have seen the concept of friend function, which is actually we can say a non-member function, but instead of rather than because despite of being the non-member function, it is allowed to access the private members of a particular class. So based on that concept, we are going to cover today's topic, which is friend classes. So as in the previous lectures we have seen friend functions, so here we are going to cover friend classes as well. So on the similar lines as that of friend functions, we can have one class which is a friend class to the another class, and in some in the situation of a friend class, when this is the case, the friend class and all its member function have access to the private members defined within the other class to which it is being declared as friend. But the this concept of friend is not actually a concept which goes vice versa. I'll be covering what I'm trying to say with the help of an example in a short while. But first of all, let us try to understand how a friend class can use the private members of other class to which it is being declared as a friend. So as you all are aware that whenever we are talking about friend functions or something like that, we have to use a keyword which is friend. So here also, let's say I have taken one class which is class A, and within the private section we have one data member which is X and its value is 5, and there has been declared a friend class which is class B, and now your compiler is aware of that your class B is actually a class is actually a friend to class A, because the keyword friend has been attached with the declaration of class B. So that means class B is now allowed, class B and its member functions are now allowed to use this private member which is X, and it is a private member belonging to class A. Let's see how. Now in class B, within the public section, I have used one kind of function which is named as display, and what is being passed as a parameter is the object reference of class A. So capital A, which is name of the class to which class B is being declared a friend, and then we have an object reference by %A, and within this cout we are printing the value of A dot X. So that means that %A is actually an object, A is the object and %A is the object reference, and using that object we have used the private member of the class A, which is the member X, and this is being used inside a member function which belongs to class B. So now let us consider this. Class A and class B are two, we can say class B is friend to class A, and as class B is friend to class A, it is allowed to access even the private members, and in order to access those private members, class B is taking help of a member function which belongs to itself or which belongs to class B, which is display, and within this display we have passed the object references. And in the previous lectures it was very clear that if a friend function or if something of that sort wants to access a private data member, then in that particular situation it has to be done through an object. So, here small a is the object of class capital A, and through that object we have used a dot x. So, this is what your and which is followed by the closing of class. Now, how are we going to use this inside the main function? So, we have two classes A and B is friend to class A, then two objects, one is capital A and another one is one is small a, another one is small b. Within using this small b, which is the object of B, we are calling the function display. Display is the member function of class B, that is why it is being used with the dot operator by the object of class B. So, B dot display, and then in bracket we have given the object reference. So, using this object A directly, A dot x can be displayed and then your programs come to end. So, this is what we can say is a basic definition or a basic working of your friend classes. So, friend classes basically, if a class B is friend to class A, then class B along with its member function is allowed is allowed to access the private members of class A, but even then those private members can be only accessed by using the object and along with the dot operator of that particular object. So, till this point we have covered our friend functions in the previous lectures and friend classes as well, and we will be using the concept of this friend function and friend classes as and when we will be taking up the other programs and some complicated programming assignments. So, apart from this friend classes, we have one more important function, which was one more important concept, which was actually we can say yes covered previously, but in a very brief manner, and that is nothing but an inline functions. So, inline functions basically some functions with a small code, those are not actually called, but rather than their code is expanded in line at the point of each invocation. What does it mean? I will be explaining it through an example. Give me a moment. And now we can say this process is similar to using a function like a macro, and in order to cause a function to be expanded in line rather than called, we need to precise its definition with the keyword inline. Now, let us say we have used here a function which is max, and it is taking maximum of two numbers A and B, but it is an inline function. Now, as it is being defined as inline function, so here within the main, when I have used max 10, 20 and max 99, 88, what is actually happening? So, generally with functions, what happens while encountering the call of max 10, 20, that function will be called, and the control jumps to the definition of max, but here it is not going to be executed like this. Now, your max is actually a function which is in line. So, for compiler, this preceding program is going to be equals to this one, in which it is directly in place of, if you can notice here, we have cout max 10, 20, and the definition of max is you need to return if it is A is greater than B, else B has to be written. So, that whole particular definition along with the parameter passing will be placed here rather than the function being called explicitly. So, please notice the first cout statement where the call max 10, 20 was placed, and here it is having 10 is greater than 20, then 10 will be written as 20 will be written. That means the whole call is being placed here, and similarly with the another call which is having the parameters 99 and 88. So, what is actually happening? So, compiler is looking this particular the previous code in which the max function was declared as inline, that code will be looked by the compiler in this manner. That means the whole call has been, the whole we can say statement of the function is being replaced here. Now, what are we can say the pros and cons of inline function? One, it is going to create very efficient code. Now, how the code is going to be efficient if a function is inline? So, each time when a normal function is called, please recall what happens. A significant amount of overhead is generated by, there is a mechanism which is a calling mechanism, and then there is a return mechanism, in which what happens is arguments are pushed onto the stack when the function is being called, various registers are saved, and then these things are restored, registers are restored and the stack is unwinded when the function is returned. So, there is a hell lot of, we can say, overhead in terms of the execution calls of a normal function. But when a function is expanded inline, none of those operations is going to occur, no stacks, no involvements of registers. But although expanding function calls inline can produce faster run times, because it is kind of, we can say, it also results in, so what is happening after when a function is called inline, those stack and register calling and return procedure is actually skipped and the whole call is being replaced here. So, one can say, I mean, this is fine, but then is it allowed to have what? Isn't it a good idea that all functions should be made inline within the program if this is going to give me a faster execution? So, actually no. So, the point is, whenever you are having any kind of mechanism, any facility or any privilege, that has to be used very carefully. So, although expanding the function calls inline can produce faster run times, but it can also result in larger code size because of the duplicated code. Now, see what is happening. We have called this max function twice, and in both the places that function code has been placed, while in case of a call no such things happened. So, your code can also get larger if you are looking for multiple calls of an inline function. So, for this reason, one idea is, it is best to inline only very small functions. For larger functions, they should not be made inline, because it will hamper the performance of the program rather than helping it. Further, it is also a good idea to inline only those functions those have significant impact on the performance of your program. So, short and impactful functions can be made inline, not the all functions should be made inline. But here is a catch, that means your this thing, your inline is actually just a request, like we place the request for the register specifier. It is not a command to the compiler. So, compiler, if not comfortable because of the any technical reason, can choose to safely ignore it your function which is being demanded to be inline can be inline, or may be inline or may not be inline, because it is just about placing a request or doing a request to the compiler. It is not a command. Now, till this point we have seen that there is a function which is defined outside the main function, or it is a simple function. Now, what will happen if we are using the member function of a class? So, in that situation, let us try to see what is going on. So, we have a class, my class, in which there are two private members which are A and B, and there is a public section in which there are two data member functions. One is init and another one is show. So, void init integer I, integer j. Now, please notice how I am defining the structure of this class. So, a structure of this class is having only the signature or only the prototype of the function init and the function show. We have not defined the whole function inside this my class, and if I want to make a function inline, even if it is not declared inside the class, we can use the function, we can use the keyword inline. So, let us try to see here. So, what are the strategies of using or defining, we can say, your member function? There can be two strategies. One is you just write the signature inside the class, and then using the scope resolution operator you give the definition outside. Another idea is you are just going to write the definition within the class itself. So, here what we have done is, if the definition of the function is within the class, that means your member function is treated as automatically inline and will be given inline treatment if possible by the compiler. But even if we are declaring the function, we are defining the function outside my class or outside the class, we can request the compiler to make it inline by pressing the word by placing the word inline in its signature. So, what I am trying to convey here is, it is not only the normal functions of the programming, but it could be the member functions of the classes which can be made inline. How these can be made inline is, here you can see init function has been defined. It is taking two variables I and j, and these two variables are being assigned to A and B, which are the private members of my class, and it is going to return nothing. So, return type is void, but here it is before the signature, it is the keyword inline is being placed. So, the whole definition goes like this: inline void my class scope resolution operator init within the bracket integer I comma integer j. So, that means we have created an inline function even if it is not defined inside the class. One inline function has been created. So, in order to create another inline function, we have used the same strategy, which is inline void my class scope resolution operator and show. So, now what is happening here? We have placed our request for compiler that the member functions which are show and init, and they are belonging to the class my class, we want to make them the functions as we want these functions to be treated as inline even if they are not being defined inside the class. So, that is okay. We can do this, we can place this request in front of compiler, and compiler, if comfortable or if technically fine, it will serve these functions as inline functions, and it is going to give you we can say kind of an upper edge on the in terms of performances. So, here for calling these function we have used one main function. Within the main function there is an object of my class through which is x, and through that x we have used x dot init 10,20. So, 10,20 values we have taken and assigned to A and B, and then those values has been kind of we can say displayed or printed with the help of function show. So that was one idea, that even if your function is not defined inside the class, you may declare it as an inline function. Now what if we want to define inline functions within a class? So inline functions within a class, if you can see, we have taken the same code of class my class, which is giving me two private member variables which are a and b, and within the public section we have void init integer I, integer j, value of I is given to a, value of j is given to b, and this closes the function. While coming to void show, what it is doing, it is just we can say displaying or printing the value of a and b. So here, as you can notice, that the definition of your function is being placed inside the class. That means these functions becomes inline automatically. We need not to use any keyword inline before this, as we have done in the previous example. So now the definition is, or the differentiation we can say, is very, very clear. If the function is defined inside within the class, it will be taken automatically inline, and if the function is defined outside the class, then in that situation, if we want to make that function as inline, that has to be preceded by the keyword inline. And within the main function, we see the main function goes in the similar manner, which is just by taking one object of my class, which is named as x here, then x dot init 10, 20, and then x dot show. So you can notice that there is no difference in the code of main function. Code of the main function was same as that of the previous, but yes, in the previous call, functions were defined outside, preceded by the keyword inline, and here no such things has happened, because the definition of function is automatic. Function is placed inside the class, and therefore it is taking those functions as automatically inline. Now one question which kind of very common to be taken here is, what if the code here which is defined even inside the class is very large or very huge. So let us say, for example, we have a big code for the function init and for the function show both. So what will happen? So maybe that kind of strategy is never preferred when we talk about programming. It is a general convention that if your function code or the definition of function is a large function, then that function should not be defined within the class. Instead, you define it outside the class. And even if you place the request for inline, it is up to your compiler that whether that inline status has been given to the function, yes or no, or on the in a different manner, we can say whether the function will be treated as inline function, yes or no. That totally depends on the compiler. So as programmer, we can just kind of place the request in front of compiler for short functions to be treated as inline. So here in this lecture, we have covered two topics. One is the friend class. So friend class is actually a class, we can say a class which is friend to other class, and because of being a friend class, the class itself and its member function are allowed to use the private members of the class for to which it is being declared as friend. And the second thing which we have seen is inline functions. So inline functions within the class and inline functions outside the class, both we have covered, and we have seen what actually this inline keyword is and how it is, how it will be treated by compiler. So, here are some references which are which are from which we have taken help for preparation of this lecture. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.